Hello, my name is Diana. I did my persuasive speech on traditional schooling versus year-round schooling. There's a lot of controversy going on right now in regards to this traditional school and year-round school. The biggest difference between the two of them is traditional schooling is the basic summers off, which is about 16 weeks to about 12 weeks, and you got the holidays off and winter break and summer break, and the year-round schooling is no summer break, and sometimes you will go to school on the weekends if there's a snowstorm during the week. You will go to school on the weekends, but as far as the holidays are concerned, you might have some holiday. You might go to school some holidays, not the major holidays you will have off, but as far as breaks, you don't have a lot of breaks. So my daughter is going to middle school next year, and she is in their traditional schooling. Our base school is traditional, but there are a lot of her friends who are forced to go to their base school is, year-round schooling. So the parents are not very happy with the year-round school because it takes them away from a lot of their friends that are going to traditional schools. So the year-round schooling, the Wake County Public School System was hoping that it would help with the overcrowding of a lot of these schools in all of Wake County. There is overcrowding. There's a lot of people moving in from everywhere. So I guess they were thinking if they were to open, or they were to go from traditional to year-round, the kids will have different tracks with year-round. They have multiple different tracks. I'm not quite sure the breakdowns of how the tracks work, but I do know that they do have different tracks. So some are off for 3 weeks, and then the ones that are off are in school, and then vice versa. So they were hoping that they can get more kids in each week and throughout the summer if they did this year-round schooling as opposed to the traditional schooling, which is a whole bunch of kids just packed into a class, and you have to work with what you have. And as far as the year-round schooling, pretty much as Wake County is trying to help with this overpopulation of people. So they figured they will change a lot of the traditional schooling to year-round. I'm not quite sure if it's going to work or not, but they are hoping that it's going to help a little bit. And the other issue with wanting to go from traditional to year-round is a lot of these schools have trailers. This is something relatively new to me. I have never seen too many trailers in a lot of schools, but there are some elementary schools and middle schools with some trailers, which they get very hot. They can get very cold. It can make the kids feel pretty secluded from pretty much the whole school. So they were trying to eliminate a lot of these trailers and get these kids back into the classroom. So that's pretty much the argument for year-round. As far as traditional schooling, a lot of, to me, I feel like is the better option. Traditional schooling. These kids, they claim have some memory loss over the summer. I'm not quite sure how much memory loss. I mean, you have some basic memory loss just from not using your brain for the summer, but they seem to get back into class, and it might take a week or two for these kids to kind of get back into the mode of school and understand that they do have to start learning now because it is a new school year. And the teachers make syllabuses based on these students forgetting some of their work that they lost from last year. So I think these teachers they come prepared knowing that these students are forgetting. So they do, they make a syllabus based on that. So, and then a lot of the older kids who are in traditional schooling, they do need their summer breaks to work. So if they don't work, they cannot make money for the year. So if they're working, they're making money, they're making a paycheck, and that paycheck is going to help them pay for expenses as far as prom, junior prom, senior prom, car insurance. They got car payments if they need a new car, and even just to support themselves throughout the year. because it gets harder and harder with some of these single parents to support their children. Um, yeah, there is a lot of that. These kids need to go to school to learn or to go to work to make money for themselves. I'm sorry. Um, and the other huge thing was a lot of these kids um, need to go to camp. There's a lot of camp that for these elementary schools, they go to camp over the summer and they need teachers or they need the older kids who are I guess they're called the instructors. They are the ones that help these kids and they need to go to these enrichment camps, the older kids, to help further their future goals as far as trying to pick a college that's coming up in the near future for them. So there's a lot of sides as to which one would be better than the other, and everybody has a different opinion about it. My opinion is I really do enjoy the traditional schooling. It is what I grew up doing was a traditional school. There never was an option. It was just traditional schooling. And you kind of just worked around that schedule. So as of today and in the coming months, Wake County Public School System did say that they are going to reevaluate the moving of traditional calendar to year-round to go back to traditional. There was a severe under-enrollment in the year-round schooling, which means a lot of the parents are not happy with a year-round school calendar, so they are pulling the kids out to go to a different school. So as of next year, Wake County is going to look into changing the year-round to back to traditional, so everybody can get on the same page. And that is my speech on year-round versus traditional. Thank you very much.